up and good morning. It's a brand new day. Inspiration and good music coming your way. Whether it rain or shine, it's gonna be alright. You're on the morning show. Nation's radio. Get up and good morning. It's a brand new day. Inspiration and good music is. Whether it rain or shine, it's gonna be alright. You're on the morning show. Yeah. So get up and good morning.
That's right, get up and good morning. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for the morning show with the Bishop right here on the Stellar Award-winning All Nations Radio. And y'all know what we do. We go out into all the world with nothing but the best in gospel music and Christian programming. And y'all know what it is? Oh, that means Ursula is Fire Friday. So y'all better come on in the clubhouse. And y'all know what I do when y'all come on in. I say, come on in the room. Hey, Lordy. Y'all come on in the clubhouse. When you come in, man, make sure you ping as many people as you can. What's up, Ariana? Good morning to you. I don't think I've seen you in the clubhouse before, but when y'all come on in, man, ping as many people as you can. Hit that greenhouse wherever you find it. Y'all know they done played the switcheroo gang on us. I don't know where the greenhouse is, but follow us and we will follow you back, okay? And if you haven't done so already, please and thanks, make sure you follow us and put us on your weekly calendar of events. The morning show with the Bishop you can catch Tuesday through Friday from 8 to 10 Central. That's 9 to 11 Eastern, baby. And then on Monday nights, make sure you catch us for our time of testimony and prophetic prayer. It goes down Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central for Monday night, man. And when y'all come over here, my grandmother used to say, everybody ought to testify. Don't come over here act like y'all ain't got no testimony. Good as God done been to you. Okay, that's what we doing. Good morning, MJ. That's my sister. Y'all come on into the clubhouse. I don't know, must I do this today? But I want to identify with all the folks that's ready to turn up on Fire Friday. Devil try to come at me, but he know he got to get back, get back. You don't know me like that. Oh, I feel all right. You know, I was at the ER yesterday. Many of y'all know. But I made it out and I'm back. And somebody said, you need to sit down somewhere, but I got to do this show, y'all. So after this show, I might sit down a little bit. Let me get right down to it. She probably needs no introduction nowhere on the planet, but we got to do her just due. The one and only, the doctor. The good doctor. Shanna Grant she's an experienced mathematician who offers online math tutoring and teaching private classes. She has a passion for helping others build mathematical knowledge, understanding, and skills. She is highly knowledgeable in mathematics and strives to make a positive influence on her community through research, tutoring, and giving professional talks. Can I say it like this? She holds a Bachelor's of Science degree in mathematics, a Master's of Science degree in mathematics, and a PhD in mathematics. Oh my God almighty. With the focus in collegiate mathematics education, she currently works as an assistant professor at an institution known to graduate the top number of black students, hear me, with math degrees, and an adjunct math instructor at a technical college in the A-Town. That's Metro Atlanta. And if I could do it how I want to do it, it's peace up, A-Town down, baby. That's all I'm saying. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning.
Seems like I'm never going to forget this interview.
Listen, thank you so much for having me. And I would like to just thank your viewers for having me as well. It's really a pleasure and honor to be on your show.
We're going to have a lot of fun. But
okay.
I would, listen, I got to do it like this. She probably didn't know. But if she's ever put an eye on my show, she probably know I was going to come like this because this is what she represented, y'all. I got to give it up for Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Oh, yes. The one only. Any others? I think I'm just playing.
Hey, that's how she doing. Hey, listen, I know y'all waiting to see where I stand with it. I think I have all my friends who are of this distinguished color called Crimson and Cream. They said, McGill, come on. And so I'm like, okay, all right. I said I better wait now. I can't do it all the way, but I'm coming. That fallout is coming. Yeah, I'll be back. All right, so let's talk about this because you're doing some wonderful things. I want to talk about math because, you know, that was very powerful to me that, you know, you are a part of an institution that graduates that high level of individuals that go on to have incredible futures and putting out the top number of black students with math degrees. That's powerful to me. Talk about that. Let's start there.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a great place to start. I can actually tell you the institution. It's Fort Valley State University. We've also recently been named the number one HBCU, public HBCU in the state of Georgia. And so, in essence, I'm a graduate of the math department, and I have seen firsthand, the professors, and of course now I'm one of the professors who really cares. Right, you're not a number, and your success matters to the institution, to the department, to the faculty. I've been to other institutions where I was just a number, and the difference is huge. And so, I really give thanks that I was a part of this institution and that I'm able to come back to be a blessing to my students. When I say that, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but we recently received a $1.4 million NSF grant, right? Where we're now awarding scholarships, right? To keep that number one spot for graduating the top number of HBCU students, African-American students who get degrees in mathematics. And, we're really excited about that. I didn't have a scholarship, but now we're able to give out scholarships to students, so low-income minority students who are interested in pursuing math or math and a related degree.
That is, man, that's incredible. So I'm trying to remember what was the buzz thing. We had certain things coming. Maybe I'm telling my age, and I'm cool with it. Like we had little commercials that would come on. I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill, all those kind of things, and dealing with math. Like, when did you always know that, man, math is my favorite? When did you get on the math vibe and understand that, man, this is what I love. I'm good at it. I know how to count money real good. I don't consider myself no mathematician, but you can't pull me up with with my money. Okay, so talk about that.
Well, you have to be good at math, right, to be able to count your money.
Hey, man.
Right. It's interesting. I fell in love with math as young as I can remember. When I was about 3, 4, 5. It's a little fuzzy what age that was. I was born and raised in Jamaica. So in Jamaica, we call it basic school. And we were playing like a banker game where I was always the banker. So I would have my leaves as money, and I would make sure that everybody got the correct change. That was very important to me. Yeah. And so, from that day on, or from those moments, it was undeniable. My grades in math were just higher than every other, like very close to 95, 100s. And I would go home and do my math work. I always wondered why I had to do any other subject, to be honest with you. Like, why do I need to know about science? I can go to the doctor if I'm sick. I don't need to know about biology. I don't really, So, I used to give a lot of my attention to math, and, the grades reflected it.
Wow. And because and it's some of the homework, I know the parents, let's talk about that, because I'm going to kind of parlay that into what we're going to talk about with this incredible book you have. But I know that nowadays it's like, some of the parents, when they come home and the children want help with that math, some parents be ready to pull their hair out. It look like Egyptian hieroglyphics nowadays. So talk about that, why math is so important to you as it relates to the children. And then we'll kind of ease on into your new book.
Yes, no, I'm glad you brought that up, because, as the CEO and founder of Sharp Sessions, we deal with a lot of students K through 12, right? While I teach as a professor at a college institution, we also deal with students between K through 12. And so, what we're seeing is students are not getting the foundation. I'll say this a little bit loosely, right? The foundation, if students don't get the correct foundation as it relates to mathematics, then they're going to be crippled all the way through. And we've seen this as young as, let's say, 6 when they come to us. And so what we do in our sessions, we focus on the mindset first. So what we do is we take our students and we help them overcome their fear of math, because you You'd be surprised how many of them are afraid of math just when you say the word. So we help them overcome their fear of math by changing the way they think. Everything we do starts with the way we think and how we see ourselves, right? And so we incorporate what we call the growth mindset. And so the growth mindset does it. Students who have, or persons who have the growth mindset, believe that abilities are born and can be curated, right? So that you can become better. So if I were to practice more, or if I make a mistake, I can learn from it, right? And then you have students who, let's say, are of a fixed mindset, who thinks I'm either good or not, right? Or it's either you're born with it or not. And so we find that students with the fixed mindset, we get a lot of those who say, yeah, doesn't matter what I do. And so it's important that when we start with our students, all of our books, everything that we do, we start with the mindset, because we know that the mind really controls all that you do, right? And so once we do that, we can help them take those little steps to getting better.
Yeah, that's good. Ooh, you said a mouthful then. The mind controls everything. And I heard it said, and I believe we should keep it alive and herald it across the world, that a mind is a terrible thing to waste. I don't know what y'all laughing at, but I'm telling you, it's so, don't waste your mind on some craziness. Okay, this is the morning show with the Bishop, and we have with us the good doctor, and she is, listen, loaded, heavy loaded. Okay. Listen, my degrees, I got them, but they wasn't in no math. So we're celebrating her. She has a wonderful new book that we'll get into in just a minute. Then y'all know we got to come over here and fight the A&R Spirit Stick fight. I talked with Pastor Howard Lavelle. He is our pastor of Worship Fire Fellowship. He says my vote don't count, but y'all know I'm coming in hot. Carolina Blue. All right. Speaking of that, let's do this, and then we're going to come back with more Dr. Shanna K. Grant. She is with us this morning, and y'all need to pile up, get this sanctified jury box together. We're going to see who's going to win this A&R Spirit Stick, okay? Y'all know how we do. This is the best morning show on the planet. You going to tell something, man? Go run tell that.
Hey family, Brian Poppin here. If you've been through the fire and you got out, say something. You better get your day started listening to The Morning Show with the Bishop on Stellar Award-winning All Nations Radio, right here. Now go run and tell that.
All right, it's Five Friday. Y'all know how we do on Five Fridays. We turn up. Andy Mineo featuring Lecrae. Let's go.
I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big, I feel like Pac. I shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot. Coming in hot. Shoot that. Hey, why not? Yeah, coming in hot. Coming in hot. Just like the fajita. I write what I live. My life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow. Just like the demeanor. I'm feeding my fam. I'm feeding the meter. They got the iron while I got the steamer. I bring the fire, but you never seen her. I testify, I don't need a subpoena. They want my soul, better go to Korea. I love my dog just like I'm Peter. Gotta protect them. I made the call up with just like I'm reffing. I know we left, yeah, now we back together, but I guess that is better now. Later than never, like, what's happening? I'ma need y'all quit asking when. Me and my wife gonna have some kids. Right now we just practicing. Teacher said quit rapping, man. That gon' hurt my average. I said thank God I ain't average. Yeah, I'm a bright young man. Kill the GPA and the BPM. Look, we on. So say what you say, cause that's A with Lecrae. From the A train to the A, I'm coming in hot. I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big, I feel like Pac. I shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot. Coming in. Shoot that shot. Hey, why not? Hey, yeah. I'm coming in.
Wake 'em up. Wake 'em up. Wake 'em up. Wake 'em up. See, I'm still sleeping, so I had to shake 'em up. Shake 'em up. I kept it too real. I wasn't faking up. No. My real life was a headline. Your real life got a deadline. My timeline was a hashtag. Your timeline just a hate crime. Coming in hot. Feeling like Pac. Back in 9-4 when he took 5 shots. Too much drive to ride your wave. Ditch my top and I'm off that lot. Black on black on black on black on black on black on black. You don't have to ball a rap to get them racks on racks. Uber poolers trying to catch my vibe and find my way. Yeah, I know I'm ratchet, but I'm really safe. Hot sauce dripping. Everybody wanna start dipping. First nobody wanna listen. Now everybody pay attention. Now everybody pay a fee. Even Trump gotta take a knee. When the horn blow, y'all gon' see. Make the wall fall down like yee. I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big, I feel like Pac. I shoot the shot. I'm coming in hot.
Man, that's how we do it. Come in hot. Y'all know it. The best radio station on the planet is Stellar Award-winning All Nations Radio, okay? That right there that you're looking at is not a mirage, okay? That's a real Stellar Award. And y'all know what we do Friday. We turn up, especially for those over in Clubhouse, because they be like, oh, it's the weekend, baby. I can't wait to get out today. And they want to enjoy their weekend. So I appreciate y'all, man. Coming in high again. And the video featuring Lecrae, man. That's how we do it, just like that. And we have with us Dr. Shanna K. Grant. She is with us, and she has an amazing new book that we're going to talk about for the kids. Any parents in there? Let me flash your mic, parents, if you're in the Clubhouse. And if you're watching and you're a parent, you need to holler. Yes, I can't wait till they leave out the house, but you still a parent. I want you to know that you need to get this book. Shout out to my friend Michael Stewart. He is one of the best in the business and the industry, and to everybody that is watching me via streaming. Hey, y'all, I'm back, and I'm trying to retire, but they won't let me, so let's get back to business. Our guest again is Dr. Shanna K. Grant. Thank you for being on, and I see you in the green room going, hey, we turn up for Jesus. Ain't nothing like being saved and swagged out, okay? Because they gassed me up, all right?
Yeah.
You know, they did. They gassed me up. Brandy in Dallas, Texas, she said, you one of the most swagged out bishops I know. I said, well, say it loud like you're proud, okay? Hey. Oh, my. I want to say this. How is it being an assistant professor?
Well, as you may already have kind of identified, I'm on the younger side. I
wasn't gonna say it. I was just, you open the door, I can come on in now.
Yes. So, as a young professor, I will say that my colleagues, I have a mentor who looks out for me. It's like I call him my guardian angel. But a math professor, when you walk in the room, I've taught different ethnic groups. Genders, of course. And so when you walk in the room, oftentimes I'm challenged by my students. And so, sometimes I have to, lack of better terms. But as a math professor, I always say, if I can get $1 for everyone who comes to me after we make the introductions the first day and say, hey, math is not my strong subject, and I'm trying, and I always say to myself, man, I would be so rich, because so many students, after every time that we start a semester, this is what happens. And so, I consider myself blessed that I have a brain to absorb mathematics so much or so well. But the moments when my students come to me and say thank you. Or, I remember one student, when I was doing my PhD at Georgia State, he came up to me just casually and he said, thank you for showing me that I can do math.
Wow.
And this was an older student. He was a non-traditional student. He said his teacher told him that he wasn't going to amount to much because he wasn't good at math. And I said, people are telling students this? So there's a lot to be done. There's a lot to be done in the community. As it relates to math and helping students overcome their fear of math, and take strides, because I always tell them math is, and one of my my SAT prep instructors, she always says math is an ungrateful subject. And I always say, in a relationship, right? And you don't call the person, you don't text, right? What's going to happen? You guys are going to lose touch, right? You guys are not going to be really in a relationship. And so math is the same way, unfortunately. If you do not study it, if you do not soak it in, if you come to class, I'll say even one day you skip and then you come back the next day, it's gonna be like, well, you didn't call me. So I don't know. Are we still together? Okay,
y'all better listen up good. Okay.
You have to look at it that way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so giving some good math tips and some good relationship. She slid that relationship tip in there, okay? Because if you hitting it miss, all right. So here how it's. Let me give you the math on this, okay? So if you call that man or woman, if you call that man or woman on Monday, you missed Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. What do you think the subject of Saturday's conversation is gonna be? All right, do the math on that. All right, I got to do this because it's incredible. I want every parent to get it. A toolkit for raising wealthy kids. You had me right there, because if I would have known as a kid what I know now, oh Lord, unlocking the secrets for raising up the next generation of billionaires. Billionaires, okay? With activities that align with the math standards for the 3rd through 12th grade classroom, catering to kids ages 8 to 18 years old, by Dr. Shanna K. Grant. Talk about, this is changing generations, right? This right here, I've never seen anything like it. It is so necessary and so powerful. I want you to talk about it. Toolkit for raising wealthy kids. Parents, listen up real good.
Yes. I was dragging my feet on this. I'm going to shout out the good Dr. Joan Wright-Good. She was on your show earlier this week.
Yeah.
He's my coach. And so, we brainstormed and I came up with the idea. And because I've always been passionate about helping parents, students, and I'm, as I said, I was counting money at a very young age. So it was in the midst somewhere. But, as a math professor and as I interact with students and the curriculum that is taught in schools, I always wondered, why aren't we taught how to manage our money? Why aren't we taught money management, financial literacy? Why do we have to come out in the real world and then figure it out? And when I say we, again, I'm going to talk a little loosely, it's certain and ethnic groups that don't know. I'll say it that way, right? And so it always bugged me. And so, when we did the brainstorming session, I said, I think I need to come up with a book, introducing financial literacy to kids. Mm-hmm. Right. And so the reason why I wrote the book in such a way, so it really speaks to parents, right? But it has a lot of activities for parents to engage your kids. Because what we don't want is, let's say we get all this knowledge, right? The parents, and we build this wealth. And then we say, here, you take over. If the kids are not prepared, if the kids are not knowledgeable, if they don't know how to manage their money, guess what's going to happen? They're going to splurge that money, right? Yeah. And I Doc shared some statistics as well that when students who get, or children who get, let's say over $1 million in 10 years, that money's gone. Wow. If they inherit it. So we need to educate our kids. Mm-hmm. And we have to think about legacy. If we want to draw on the Bible, right? Mm-hmm. There were a lot of legacy passed down. But how are we going to pass down legacy if we don't have it? If we don't start with ourselves? So it's going to start with us as parents. And honestly, the book is for anyone who would like to build wealth, right? I also wrote it in such a way because, as I said, traditionally, financial literacy is not taught or discussed in the classroom. Yeah. But students and kids, most of us spend a lot of time in the classroom. Yeah. Right? That's true. And so when we come out, we're now slammed with credit cards. We're slammed with loans. And we don't know how to maneuver, right? Mm-hmm. We have to start somewhere. And so I say the younger, the better. My child, I have 2 baby boys. One is 3, he's about to be 4. The other is 2. And I'm already talking to them about money, right? My son, I have money right now. He has his own money. Every time he comes in my office, he's like, I want my money.
I love it.
You can't start too early. You can just say words to them. They'll ask you. Yeah. They'll ask you. Yeah. Right. So I think it's very important that we really zone in on that.
That's good. And the scripture says this, to train up a child in the way they should go. And when they get old, they won't depart from it. I believe that is inclusive of more than just biblical knowledge and information that we give them. I think we need to be more holistic, certainly within the parameters of our Black and brown communities, right? Because we go and get the newspaper. Some of y'all might know. Let me peek over the clubhouse. Some of y'all might remember just going to get the the cartoons and the funny pages out of the newspaper, where other races were teaching their children the financial section.
Come on.
All right. I mean,
I'm running this morning because we can start.
you see, when we was ready, to go play, they were teaching their children about fractional banking. All right. I don't know if y'all ready for me this morning. It's Friday.
We need to get into it though,
because
if you don't, you will.
Yeah.
And that's
it's so important, man. I just cannot salute you enough, because if you teach it to them early, then not only will they learn it, but I believe they will promulgate it. I believe they will pass it on. And I think it's our responsibility to do that. Talk about, real quick, our responsibility to continue to further empowering our own communities.
Yeah, our responsibility. Yeah, I'm just going to refresh one thing that I was telling us, because now I'm telling my students. One of the things that I discuss in the book is compound interest.
Come on now. I almost fell out my chair, Jesus.
Okay. Listen, but compound interest has good and bad, but I'm going to talk about the good here.
Okay.
So, we were having a conversation, because my students look at me crazy when I start saying, if you save all your money in the bank, you're likely not going to be rich. Well, it depends on the account that you have, right?
Right.
And they're looking at me like, Dr. Grant, this is not math. And I'm like, this is math, right? Mm-hmm. Because in my tutoring company, we bring math to life, literally. Mm. But at any rate, he was kind of very intellectual. He said, so you're saying that there's going to have to be one person in the family who makes a lot of sacrifices, who chooses not to splurge their money, but to invest it, who has to do the research, who has to, set that foundation in order for the rest of the family to be wealthy? And I said, yes. Yes. One person, maybe more, right? But it's going to take at least one person in a generational line, right? To decide that it stops here. No more living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to pass on wealth to my kids and their kids and their kids. Mm-hmm. It takes one. Who's going to be that one for your family? Right? Is it going to be you? Or does it have to fall on your children or your child? So we have to own that responsibility, because a lot of us, we complain and we say, oh my goodness, the cost of living is high and this and that and the third. What are you doing for the people coming up behind you?
Yeah. Ooh, every family, y'all hear me good, every family needs a Joseph, okay? I want to throw this at you, and then we might get into the clubhouse in a second. We want to put up your book again, because I want people to get the book. I think when people start early, and again, I cannot stress enough, and there's probably people that are watching and listening to us now that's like, Bishop, you sure right. Oh my God, if we would have known younger what we know now as it relates to finance and credit and business credit and all of these things, man, you're talking about a billionaire. I ain't gonna lie to you, I probably would have been one by now if I knew, if I had what I had, the knowledge I had 20 years ago.
If my parents, this is a running joke, if my parents knew what was in this book, listen, most people who know me now wouldn't know me.
I know that's right, okay.
I would be in some Fortune 500 corporation somewhere. Listen, God knew what he was doing, because he knew.
Yeah.
Listen, I had work to do, so I'm here.
I want to throw this out there because it's interesting. And so there's some prerequisites, but I haven't seen anything, and I want to see if you are privy to this, okay? And when I saw it, I had to pull over, right? I was driving. I saw it, I had to pull over, and I immediately, I just hit one button and opened it up and hurry up and put some money over there. So for those who may not know, if you are an Apple Card holder, an Apple Card is, you smiling because you probably know where I'm going. Apple Card is backed by Goldman Sachs. So they have a savings account, all right, that you can open with Apple. So the prerequisite is you must have the Apple Card first. Once you have that, you literally go in your wallet, open up your Apple Card, hit the little three dots, open up the savings account. Now, here's what got me, because I haven't seen it, and I thought is the reviving punk, is Ashton Kutcher somewhere around here. Is this real? So Dr. Grant, when I saw that the Apple savings account, the interest rate on it is 4.15%. I was like, oh my God, I was gasping for air, because the traditional big banks, it might give you, what is it now? Maybe 0.01, if that. 4.15% interest. They compound it daily and pay it out at the end of every month. Talk about that scenario from a mathematical standpoint, because there could be a whole lot of folk going to get an Apple Card to get the savings account.
Listen, you don't have to get an Apple Card. I'm a Samsung girl. But I will talk a little bit on this. So, it's interesting. I was doing a workshop with some students on campus, and I said to them, guess how much your regular bank account gives you on your money. So let's say you have $1,000 in that account. What happens? You get less than 0.1%, right?
Right.
And guess what the bank is doing with your money?
I know, but tell the good people.
The bank is making, let's say the bank is making bank, okay, with your money and giving you $1, a cent or so. So now there is this notion of what we call high yield savings account. That's what the Apple account is that you're discussing, right? But it's not only Apple, guys. You can do other banks like Ally Bank, so mostly federal banks as well. So the thing here is most of the banks that are offering the high yield interest. And so this is where you're getting over 3% return on your money just to have it there, right? And listen, compared to less than 1%, 3.75%, 3.25, they're mostly above 3%. And so you just have your money there and you're making money, right? The secret of wealth is compound interest and making your money make money for you, right? And so, of course, we discuss saving. This is very important, right? That you must have, most of us should be familiar with the emergency fund, at least 3 months of your income on the side, because you never know what may come up. At least 3 months. If you can only do 1 month, we understand, but you want to make sure you have something aside. But what we go a little bit further to say is, if you do, or if you are saving your emergency fund, put it in a high yield savings account. Amen. Don't leave it in the bank account that you're only getting 0.1%. And I talk about many of these accounts in the book. I'm trying to find the page. I think it's page 54, because we just talked about this in my consult with one of our clients, right? Yeah, there's a long list of banks that offer high yield savings, and why they can give us this high interest is because you don't have to deal with tellers. It's like an online account, right? And so they cut out having to pay different people so they can give us that return. Right. And one of the things we discuss in the book is the notion of investing, because saving alone, unfortunately, is not going to make us millionaires and billionaires. Right. We have to invest. But this is a good investment, 3.75 for just sitting there, 3.75% return for just having your money in an account. No risk. Come on. We need to do it.
So can you, for those who are trying to put a chokehold on it, show enough now, right? Because this I don't know how you don't move, whatever institution it is, I don't know how you don't move and put something there, right? And then, of course, you can, as Dr. Grant was saying, as you begin to generate revenue from every place that you have it, then you in turn cause that money to work for you, all right? I'll throw this out there. Whenever negotiating with the banks are not your friend, okay? I just want to give you that information. The banks are in the business to make money. So when you position yourself in a position of leverage, then you're able to negotiate and talk and get higher points or percentage on your money staying there. Trust me, the bank wants your money to stay in their bank, especially if you understand even the basics of fractional banking, okay? They can loan out 90% of deposit on record without even your permission, okay? By law, all they have to do is keep 10% there, okay? So they want your money to stay there. But talk about, for those who, you mentioned compounding, but can you break down for us compounding it daily? Like, take it to that level.
This is an exercise I do with my students to see. So there are banks that compound annually. And so you get, let's say, an interest rate of, let's say, 0.1%, and then they divide that by 12 months, right? And then they divide that by the number of days in the month. And that's how much percent you really get. So you're really getting less than, you know what I mean? And so when we talk about compound interest, this is, let's say you put $100 in the bank, right? If they're compounding at, I'll just start 10% daily, this means you make $110 the next day, right? But then guess what? They're going to be putting that compound interest on that $110, right? And so money is going to keep growing over time. Compound interest, listen, But I do want to say this,
Okay.
Bishop, because compound interest is our friend and our enemy at the same time.
Right.
So when we take out a loan, credit cards, compound interest is working in the reverse for us. Because now we are getting interest, the same interest rate that can actually make us billionaires can also bring us in debt. And so the same compound interest, right, that is possibly going to make us millionaires, we are owing credit card companies, right? We're owing the banks because we're spending more than we're making, or we're taking out more than we can afford. This is one of the biggest things I see when I do consultations.
Okay. All right. And speaking of consultations, let's talk about your company. They can go to your website, right? Their website is www.sharpsessions.com, right? Talk about your website, and let's get into some of the other financial services that you offer.
Yes. So so if you go to www.sharpsessions.com/finance, we do tutoring, but like we said, we truly bring math to life. And what is finance without math, right? Or math without finance. So It's intertwined. And so we offer one-on-one consultations where we would sit with parents or just anyone to sit and iron out what are your goals. We talk about your short-term goals, your midterm goals, your long-term goals. How are you going to achieve those goals? But like I said before, the first thing I always ask parents or anyone, do you think you have the ability to be wealthy? Do you think you have what it takes to be wealthy? Because if you don't, then, we're wasting time.
Wow.
You have to be able to see yourself or envision yourself wealthy. And then you can go after it. We have to set financial goals. So of course, I'm going to, I can stay here all day, but if we talk about setting financial goals, and then we come up with a plan for you, right? We talk about the different avenues and the vehicles that you can use to build wealth, right? We talk about different things such as, we have, I don't know, many of us are familiar with life insurance, but many of us think about it as a death benefit. But listen, there's a cash build-up value that you can use, right? That you can pull out, the living benefits you can pull out, take that money. And remember what we said, you need to make your money make money for you. You borrow against that, you go invest it in something, make that money make money. And so we talk about what you can invest in. Of course, you have the stock market, you have real estate, entrepreneurship, and then we end the book. So all of our services, our financial services, are based on the book. Okay. And so we end the book by talking about asset protection. So a lot of people are knowledgeable-ish on how to build wealth. So you have, I'll talk to different persons and they'll say, yeah, I'm investing in this and that and the third. And they have kids. And I say, so, okay, what happens if we don't know? We all have a day to go. We don't like to talk about it. We're going to all depart from the earth at some point, right? When we fulfill our purpose. What's going to happen to your kids tomorrow if, let's say, that day is tomorrow? Do you have things set in place to ensure that your kids are taken care of? A lot of, maybe 10% of the persons, 15 would say, oh, I can do a will. And I said, do you know what's going to happen there? Yes, a will is a good start. But that will is going to go through probate court. Yeah. Which is going to take about 1 to 2 years to settle. Right? And let nobody say, oh, I deserve something that wasn't put in the will. I was supposed to get a part of this or this. Longer deliberation. Wow. And the money, if you do leave money, right? The money that you leave is going to be paying these court fees. So it's going to be deducted from what you're leaving for your kids, right? And then on top of that, right, your debtors are coming. So it's like, by the time you're done, I've heard a story where by the time litigation and all that was done, nothing was left for the kids, and the parents were billionaires, or millionaires maybe. Wow. So what do? You may say, your viewers may be saying, well, if the will isn't enough, what do we need to do? You need a trust. Yeah. You need a trust.
And then there are different kinds of trust, okay?
There are different, and we can get into that too, but I don't know if we have time to get into all of them.
Revocable trust. All right, so, I want you to do this.
Oh, yeah.
You need to go to the website, www.sharpsessions.com, because you offer one-on-one consultations. You also offer the Raising Wealthy Kids workshop. And then, of course, you do school and corporate seminars.
Yes.
Is there a number that you want to give out where people can call?
Yes. So if you would like to reach us, you can call 404-720-8243. And I like to point out one thing: we're launching the first workshop because, of course, the book debuted last month, and we've sold over 50 books already. We've gotten impacted over 400 persons. We've had maybe 4 or 5 workshops. We have a few more lined up out of state. And so we're excited. So we have a workshop that we're launching June 1st. And so it's going to be every Thursday where we'll be discussing the chapters in the book. So there are 9 chapters, so we'll have 9 workshops. And our workshops are very engaging. I'm a professor and I don't really just sit and lecture. So it's going to be very engaging, and we'll be doing activities, right, to go through each chapter of the book, so that parents can actually lay that foundation, right? That's Not great. Just say, oh, I read the book. Because a lot of times you read a book, Bishop, and then what do? You put it down.
Yeah.
So we have the workshop now to say, hey, let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's be serious and let's do this.
Yeah. And I think people learn even the more with interaction, right? The workshop causes you to have that real time interaction. Man, you have just... we gotta have you back. You gotta come back. It's worth it. It's because you're helping somebody. I want everybody to get this book, A Toolkit for Raising Wealthy Kids, Unlocking the Secrets for Raising Up the Next Generation of Billionaires. Oh, I love that B word. Okay, with activities that align with the math standards for the 3rd through 12th grade classroom, catering to kids ages 8 to 18 years old. I want to do this because you may know this individual. They're watching us via YouTube Live, and they're saying, so happy to hear about the workshop, Super Sessions with Sue N. Hopefully that I'm pronouncing it right, Sue N. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right.
Yes,
and then she says, yes, the book is everything. What book is she talking about? I'm glad y'all asked. This amazing book right here. A Toolkit for Raising Wealthy Kids, Unlocking the Secrets for Raising Up the Next Generation of Billionaires. Make sure you get it. It is by Dr. Shanna K. Grant. She is my guest right here. And I want you to go to www.sharpsessions, that's SHARPE, sharpsessions.com, and make sure you get everything that she has to offer. Because if you are hearing what I'm hearing, all right, so it's not too late. Right? Get your kids started now. And it's never too late for you, parent. I don't care how old you are. If you're listening to me, you can get yourself educated in position. Because I told somebody this the other day, and I this is me. I'm going to stand on it. I believe it. I believe the only difference between wealthy people and people who are not is knowledge. And what the wealthy people try to do is harness it and hide it from us. Right? Yeah. But they can't hide the internet. They can't hide and shackle up people like Dr. Grant and people like myself and many others who are astute in their own areas of expertise to help our people.
Yes. Can I give some statistics to kind of show people why the book is necessary? So we have 331 million persons in the U.S., right? 22 of them are millionaires.
Wow.
But 1.79 of those millionaires are Black.
Man.
Then you have 724 billionaires. Do you want to guess how many of them are Black? Only 14.
Wow.
But that's billionaires all over. Only 14 overall, but 8 in the United States.
Wow.
How many, what was the population? 331 million. So there is definitely a gap there, right?
Wow. I'm through. What do you say after that? You say, I must go to sharpsessions.com.
Knowledge is power. And yes. I have a quote that a lot of when I do it in the workshops, they like it because I don't know if your viewers are familiar with John D. Rockefeller. He was like a mastermind, right? And so his quote, he says, if you want to succeed, you should strike out a new path rather than travel the worn paths of accepted success. So many of us have never seen a millionaire in our family. You're going to have to strike out on new paths for you to be the first, or for your kids to be the first.
Yeah. Because I'm a firm believer that there are two kinds of people. There are leaders and there are followers. Okay. Next category of people, y'all can write this down, post it wherever you want to post it. There are people that make it happen. There are people that watch it happen. And there are people that sit around and wondered what happened. What kind of person are you? When we bring to you, I try with this station to bring the very best onto this station to equip us with knowledge. We're a gospel station, we church, but later for churching and shouting and broke. We need to change that paradigm. Y'all ain't said that to me. I can shout a whole lot better when I got some money in the bank.
And we can do so much more in the community. Come on.
Amen. So Nadine Ellis says Dr. Grant is making it happen. So we salute you. We appreciate you. I want to do this. I'm going to open up Club Room and give a person the opportunity to ask you one question as it relates to your amazing new book, right? Because there are some parents in here, and we want them to be able to ask. A toolkit for raising wealthy kids, unlocking the secrets for raising up the next generation of billionaires. I'm going to take one, maybe two. Are you up to doing two? Let's take two questions.
Yeah.
All right, let's do two questions. All right. Flash your mic in the clubhouse. We want to put the book up, and we want everybody to understand that this is a critical thing that she is doing with releasing and having this book for children. If you're in the clubhouse and you're a parent, flash your mic. You have Dr. Grant on, and now you get to ask her a question personally. Let's go. This is live radio, and I want you to pop up like popcorn if you have a question. And the book, of course, 3rd to 12th, ages 8 to 18 years old, but even as an adult, you're going to be blessed thereby. All right, flash your mic. We're coming into the clubhouse. Q&A. I want to scroll down to make sure I don't miss anybody, because these glasses are not for fashion. I need them for real, y'all. All right, Lady Dawn B, I'm going to call on her because I know our good brother, Jalen. This will be definitely good for all of our young people. Lady Dawn B, are you able to speak to us on this morning?
Good morning, Bishop. Yes, I am.
A toolkit for raising wealthy kids, unlocking the secrets for raising up the next generation of billionaires. And I believe that it ain't no time better than now.
Very true. My son just turned 21.
Okay.
And trying to get him to understand the importance of saving, the importance of, I'm sorry, my reception. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, good. Trying to break the bad habits that he has acquired as a young child. Like, he doesn't understand the importance of money, the importance of saving, and the importance of building. So at this point, with him being 21, what is the best, or what do you recommend? Where do you start? Because now he's a young adult, and I want him to build towards his future. So what is a good place to start to teach him about investments and those other things like stocks and how to manage his money so that he can build forward?
You mean outside of the book? That was just...
Well, the book is a definite. I got you.
I love that.
Oh my goodness. Oh no, that's a great question. Young adults, they are so the age where we are so emancipated, right? Well, I will start by asking, not to put you on the block, but what are you doing as the example for him to follow? Because a lot of times our kids are going to look at, they don't do what we say, they do what we do. So if you want him to do something, you can start doing it too, if you're not already doing it, right? And then you bring him in. You say, hey, I'm thinking about this stock. What are your thoughts, right? Or I'm thinking about making this investment. Do you think it's a good investment? Do you know anything about XYZ? So, you're bringing him into the conversation, right? And then you're going to tell him, if you're knowledgeable about it, you can share the knowledge with him, or you guys can do the research together, right? Read the book together so you can learn more, right? But I do think it will start with you as the parent or his role models, whoever he sees or whoever he looks up to. You can always lean on or draw on those persons to say, well, they have XYZ, they're doing XYZ. Do you think it would be beneficial if you do it too? Because I'm the type, I always leave them wondering and probe them, meet them where they are. So I think that would be beneficial for you to do.
Hey man, that's good. I want to say this to every parent. I challenge every parent to do this. I have two daughters. I have a 29-year-old and a 27-year-old. They both have sons. My oldest daughter has a 5-year-old and on his way to 6. And my youngest daughter, she just had her first baby, and he is probably a month, maybe a month and a half by now. I want to buy your book for each of my daughters. So I want every parent that if you have children that are now having children, get the book for the grandbabies. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So as they're growing up, our children can have that book to begin as early as they can start reading, to start getting them indoctrinated into that book. Because if we start now, I believe, just as it is in the title of a book, we'll be unlocking secrets for raising up the next generation of billionaires. Wouldn't it be a blessing, even if we are long and gone? And I pray long life and good success. But guess what? We want to leave them with the proper tools so that our children can be blessed, right? Because we should be able to leave an inheritance unto our children and their children's children, even to the 3rd and 4th generation. Sometimes the inheritance that you leave is the information. I don't want y'all to be. Come on now. I felt that in my spirit, man. If we equip, because think about it. How many generations went by where there were others that want to perpetuate a systematic flow of ignorance, right? They didn't want us to know. And I don't care what nobody says. Or maybe must I say this? We are some of the most intelligent people on the planet, right? I'm not racist at all. I appreciate all races, but let me tell you something. It's something about us as black and brown skinned people that we are brilliant, and it is our job to continue to promulgate that from generation to generation to generation. So I want you to leave some money, but I want you to leave some knowledge too, because if you leave money without knowledge, they're going to squander it.
That's
it. If you leave both, you put them in a position to be exactly what Dr. Grant is saying. They can be the next generation of billionaires. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I gotta let you go. I know where did the time fly? I want you to do this.
Is it done already? Oh my goodness.
I want you to do this. Give them again all of the information, how to contact you, website again. Oh my God, this has been amazing.
Yes. So of course, so if you would like to contact us, you can visit our website at www.sharpsessions.com. And then you'll see all of our services. But if you specifically want to purchase the book, you can go to www.sharpsessions.com/Raising Wealthy Kidz. And then if you go to sharpsessions.com/finance, you'll see all of our financial services. I saw in your comment, is it Tara?
Yeah, Tara.
Tara, okay, very good. She was asking if we have seminars. We do have seminars. Yes, the seminars are, if you go to our website, they're there, where we do seminars for students, corporates, companies, as well as we have our workshops that we are coming up with that we'll be launching June 1st, right? And we're excited about that. Our phone number, if you want to call us, is 404-720-8243. But Bishop, can I give away one book?
Yeah.
I want to give away one book.
Yeah. All right. So how you want to do it? You just want me to go in the club?
This is what we're going to do. So we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and all this good stuff. And we have great information. We also just wrapped up a series on raising wealthy kids, long-term wealth. So for the first person who pops up on my screen to subscribe to our YouTube channel, we'll give them a book.
What's the YouTube channel?
The YouTube is Sharp Sessions.
Sharp Sessions. SHARPE Sessions. SESSIONS. Go.
So
whoever. Listen, we want to see.
The first one who pops up.
We're going to see. The first one that pop up, get the book. Now, while we're waiting on that to pop up, I want to know how we can get a signed copy of the book. Because I know we can go to sharpsessions.com and purchase the book. But what if somebody wanted to sign? I want you to sign it for my daughters.
Oh.
Can you do that?
Yes. Just send me a note. Or email info@sharpsessions.com. So once you purchase the book, I have no problem signing. I've actually been signing the books, you know.
All right.
But if you have a specific person that I should, write it to, you can. But just remember, it's for parents. Lots of knowledge in there, right? Knowledge is power.
Well, I'm getting 3 then. One for me, one for my oldest daughter, Alexis, and my youngest daughter, Deja.
Awesome.
3.
There we go, right? And then we can now use it to lots of activities to introduce kids to wealth building, right? And then, we can use it in the classroom too. So let's see. I see persons are saying they just subscribed. Yep.
So
All right,
who is
Tara.
it? Drum roll, please.
Tara, got her book.
Tara Smith Hughes.
Tara, woo!
Oh, all right, that's my friend. All right.
Yes, so please email us your information and we will have your book sent out to you.
Well, listen, Dr. Grant, you have blessed my whole life, and I know you have impacted the lives of everyone that listens, watches, and follows me. Listen, I want everybody to get the book. Okay, I'm buying 3. Tara won hers, so hey, that's the way it is. It's favor. It ain't fair, but it sure feel good. All right. The rest of us, we're going to purchase by going to www.sharpsessions.com. If you want it signed, you have to email once you purchase, and she will be more than happy to sign it. A toolkit for raising wealthy kids, unlocking the secrets for raising up the next generation of billionaires. It is not only for those ages 8 to 18, but for us adults as well. I can't wait. Okay, I have some other books I'm reading, but this book is getting ready to jump the line.
Listen, who doesn't want to read about how to build wealth?
That part right there. And
Listen,
we
I
can't.
don't even like to read as a math person, but we have 4 books. We have our SAT prep workbook, and we have our Let's Talk Numbers book to introduce kids to mathematics. But this is the most words I've put on paper, okay?
Wow.
But I think it's necessary.
And don't forget that Dr. Grant represents that amazing Delta Sigma Theta sorority.
Yes. Ooh. Yes. We had a chapter for Valley State University. Yeah.
I love it. Listen, I have enjoyed you. I hope you enjoyed being on our show. It's Fire Friday, so we got to turn up a little bit more.
Fire Friday.
All right. All right, man, we got him. He is a pastor, and he is doing some amazing things, man. We're going to hit you with the one and only Pastor Corey Ricks coming up. This is the best morning show on the planet. Thank you, Dr. Grant. We appreciate you. Oh, my gosh. Y'all better get that book. Can I do it like this? Ooh. Oh, my God. A toolkit for raising wealthy kids, unlocking the secrets of raising up the next generation of billionaires. Let's prepare our children now. And guess what? She said the book is for us too. I'm getting it. Who want to take their financial game to the next level? You need to get as much information as you can, okay? And